Well, hi Bob, thank you very much for joining us. A pleasure as always. I hope you're well. Let's dive straight in, shall we? Next week is the Christmas holiday week. Is there anything scheduled to occur during the period in regards to macroeconomics?
It's quite a week on the economic calendar next week with the shortened week for the holiday season. For the US, key stats include inflation and personal spending figures for November, that's due out on Wednesday, and durable goods, core durable goods and weekly jobless claims figures due out on Thursday. These will be the really main areas of focus from a dollar perspective. Other stats are out, including finalized GDP numbers and finalized consumer sentiment figures. These should have muted impacts, however. On the euro, we've got flash consumer confidence figures for the Eurozone on Monday and GfK consumer climate figures for Germany on Tuesday. With obviously positive COVID-19 vaccine news, we're expecting a pickup in consumer confidence across the Eurozone and Germany in particular. For the pound, particularly quiet week, CPI industrial trend orders, that's about it. Nothing else really to consider, with finalized GDP numbers unlikely to have a muted impact. So these are the key areas to focus on from the macroeconomic data front.
Meanwhile, will trading be going on as usual in the commodity currency countries?
Particularly quiet week for the commodity currencies. For the loonie, just got GDP numbers due out on Thursday. For the Aussie dollar, we've got retail sales figures due out on Tuesday. Aussie dollar retail sales, that's particularly key, obviously consumption key to the Australian economic recovery. As you know, obviously the government has eased restrictions. We're expecting retail sales to continue to improve. That should support the rebound. For the Kiwi dollar, no stats to consider. So expect obviously COVID-19 vaccine news and general sentiment towards the economic outlook to be the key drivers in the week.
Elsewhere, the Asian giants, China and Japan, they will not be celebrating next week. What is the outlook for these countries?
For the Japanese yen, quiet week. The market's going to have to wait till Friday actually for any economic data, and that's retail sales figures. You know, obviously as COVID-19 vaccine news hits the markets, expectations are for economies to begin reopening up once vaccine doses are received. That's going to take some time, however. So how bad is the economy going to get? Retail sales figures will be telling on Friday. Out of China, there's no stats to consider. PBOC's in action on Monday, however, unlikely to shift rates as forward guidance has been given earlier in the year. So don't expect too much there either. So all you've got is market risk sentiment. You know, phase one trade agreement with China and the US remains in place. Any other tensions, unlikely in the week ahead. It's probably going to be quite quiet.
Finally, Bob, just to finish up, the holidays, of course, are not cancelling geopolitics. What are the risks next week from this aspect?
On the geopolitical risk front, well, you've only got two real drivers. You know, obviously Brexit talks are continuing. It's going to be, you know, Christmas time in the UK, however, and in Europe. So there'll probably be a pause, even though there'll be a week left by the end of next week for talks to conclude and for a deal to be in place. So time is tight. Pound found support last week following the extension of talks, but we're going to need some progress in the week ahead. Obviously, there's US-China, and then really the main area of focus will be, however, not on geopolitics, but COVID-19 vaccine news, production numbers, approvals, you know, and so forth, to show the markets there is an end in sight to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Bob. Always a pleasure to speak with you. Take care, and we'll speak to you again very soon indeed. And thank you everyone for watching. This was the week ahead. Don't forget to head over to our Dukascopy TV social media platforms where you can keep up to date with everything else affecting the markets. Until next time, goodbye.